Where's my truck? That doesn't look like it. I wanted it green.
It's a different color.
Look at that. Wow.
Oh man, it is brand new.
Good grief.
Brand new.
Just a little bit.
Yeah.
That looks
Well, look
bad.
at that. First things first, she goes and puts the little
She got to get the mirror on there so she knows. That's exactly right.
Well, I know you guys have seen it. You were here at the open house.
The open house and everything.
Little things we didn't have it, all the test miles done on it, so we still had all that to work through, and we've got it all done, got all the test miles done, put it back in the paint booth, and what we wanted to, get it all touched up and looking good. And so now we just want to talk about it and go through all the details. And
Absolutely.
And you guys had a pretty crystal clear idea. Like, you knew what you wanted. You didn't want it to look too over the top. You want it to be very nostalgic and period correct and accurate and very traditional. But obviously it doesn't drive that way. It doesn't handle that way because it's got all brand new chassis and motor in it. But and there's a motor that you had. You kind of started this project. But first and foremost, like when you first see it, talk to us about the color.
Well, the original color on it was a Ford red and white.
Okay.
And
which was common back then, right?
Yeah,
we talk fridge trucks, right? This era.
They were both two-tone, a lot of them. And when I bought it, it was a mint green and like a deep green.
Okay.
So it was always my dream to put it back. But my wife and I both went to San Diego State University.
Okay.
And their colors are black and red.
All right.
So I thought, instead of going white, I'll go with the black and we'll make it black and red. So that's how we decided on the color.
It looks tougher with the black.
It does. It really
looks a lot tougher with the black.
Sets it off. So that's how we ended up with the color scheme.
And so the color scheme also was really like focusing on the black and the red that looked the best together and also matched with the San Diego State, right?
Right.
So brown interior, you guys have said it's going to be on the ranch, but I'm not certain if it'll see much of the ranch, but maybe it will.
It will when we get up there. Like I said, we've got a ranch with 3,000 acres, and so we want to be able to take it up there and drive it around.
Yeah. So the inside, it doesn't have there's really nothing extra going on with this, other than it's very traditional, all the proper features. We even tried to keep the AC vents very like period correct and simple and and straightforward without looking like we just changed it all. So how do we make that fit in 1957 to 59, 60? They got this era where they're very similar. Headlights changed and a few things changed. Hood changed a little bit, but at the end of the day, how do you keep something so period correct? And you wanted to kind of go with this look, and it worked out really well. It looks really nice. Like when I look at it, nothing stands out and says, oh, well, that's modern.
Yeah.
There isn't anything modern.
That was my whole intent, was try to keep it so it had the original flair to it, and then the rest of it just to be subtle.
Yeah.
And you guys, you hit the nail right on the head.
Well, we only executed your vision.
You did a great job.
That's all we did is we executed your vision. And sometimes people don't have vision. They'll come here and they want us to help them with vision. But in this case, you had a vision and our job was just to try to execute it. We did keep the larger steering wheel. Talk to me about that.
That's the original steering wheel that came with this, what they call it, the club cab.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I wanted. My grandfather had an F350 and it was a 59, and I was born in 1960. Okay. So I wanted to do a 1960.
Right.
And set it up, but I like the classic cub. What do they call it here on it? I can't even remember.
Custom cab.
Custom cab.
Yes.
That's what it was. That's the word I'm looking.
Yes.
So his wasn't a custom cab, but the custom cab had that steering wheel.
Yep.
And that's what I wanted to keep with it.
And so this custom cab was a feature that you would see from the 1950s into the 60s. It's very common. The earlier trucks would have a little smaller, with a white and custom cab, and like the 56s, you'll see that. But they started to stretch things out as they start to get into the 1960s, and you started to see a little bit more of things written out. Pretty cool truck. This is all original stainless too.
Yep.
Because you had this original stainless big window truck, and so we just basically had it all straightened and repolished and and everything kind of put back together. A lot of the bumpers are re-chromed, the grill's been re-chromed. A lot of the stuff is all original that was, you know, re-chromed, and because it's a better product, right? And so everything's done. Of course, spare tire had to be incorporated into it with the gas tank.
Yeah, you moved my gas tanks, which is good because everything was inside the cab.
Yeah, we didn't have it. That's the problem. We'll put the gas tank under the back of the bed. There's no room for a spare tire. So we came up with this little contraption here to put it in the side of the bed here, which was also common to see them mounted on the outside, right? Yeah, it's like a spare tire, but this worked out better.
They actually, this truck came with the mount for a spare tire there, but then when they did the other tile, bed style but they could mount it on the side. So
yeah,
it looks perfect.
Yeah, the step sides you could mount it on the outside.
Yeah,
it looks great. Built it, reinforced it, made sure it was strong. Because one of the things I noticed early on, we go drive it, and then the wheel would just sit there and vibrate.
Well, we don't need that.
No, you know, like we don't need to crack any paint. So we had to there's just little things as you're driving it, you'd notice little things, and we have to go back and kind of reinforce it. But we kept the tailgate chain.
Look at that, man. Isn't that awesome?
All that's original. Oftentimes people want to get rid of those, but we kept all those. We got some nice backup lights here. That'll be really helpful when you are backing up on the ranch at nighttime. Of course,
you got to have some modern conveniences.
You do. And then we got a really cool copper vintage Arizona plate, which is pretty cool.
Yep, the old historic vehicle plate on it and everything.
Cool.
Yeah.
They're really heavy too, and made out of solid copper, which is actually really crazy.
Wow. So, I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. Here, basically, the gauges are new. They're classic instruments.
The classic instruments?
Yep. They're all brand new. And then everything has been kind of re-chromed or got new bezels and just try to tie it all in. Even the knobs on the Restomod AC system that control all the air, they even have that chrome look to kind of tie all in and make it feel just kind of period correct. Of course, the speaker grill up there, which we kept.
That's the original.
We put it back to chrome, and it looks kind of cool.
It looks awesome.
Looks good, although we've kind of moved around some of the speakers, and we've added tweeters here and speakers here. And then we got, you know, a 1-inch little 8-inch sub in the back to kind of at least provide some good sounds as you're driving around. But you're gonna enjoy this thing. But obviously you started this with the idea of, you know, some muscle under the hood, right?
Well, we had to give it a few extra ponies, you know. It only had a 292 in it.
Oh, I know.
Well, there you go. Look at that.
He had this Coyote motor here that he'd purchased. There's a Gen 3 Coyote motor, and then from there we put you had the 6-speed?
5-speed.
Is it a 5-speed? Okay.
It's just a 5-speed.
So 5-speed, you think I know everything, but
Tremec. Yep.
But the reality is I have like 40 builds going on at one time, and it's hard for me to remember. Did we put a 5 or 6? So 5-speed Tremec in here. If you've ever driven a Coyote motor with a manual, it's pretty fun. It rips and it goes, and it's a lot of fun to drive. But you had the Hydro Boost. We put that in there. We had to rebuild it, but everything's good. And of course, we got a 4-inch cold air intake. We got a new Wizard radiator that fits the 57 to 60 truck, and then we also got the ECU mount right here. Because of the battery being relocated, and we didn't want the battery up here, which would have set there, we just put charging port here. They go all the way to the battery. So if you need to jump your battery, just do it right here.
Great idea.
You can get to it. You've got your wiper motor on, and then you've got your clutch reservoir right there.
Yeah.
And of course, this is overflow for your coolant. So if this gets a little too hot and expands, instead of the old days, it would just leak on the ground.
Yes.
It'll fill this up first before it leaks on the ground. And so generally, when it's sitting and it's cold, it should just barely have anything in here at the very bottom. It should only have about, you know, half inch. That way, if it does heat up and expands, you know, because as it heats up, the coolant expands, and so it needs, you know, place to go. Eventually it cycles and balances, the system balances out, and you don't ever really see that. Your power steering is right here. If you feel like you don't have good brakes, right? It's also going to be tied in because of a Hydro Boost into your power steering.
Yeah, I don't know anything about the Hydro Boost. I was concerned with the Coyote, with the vacuum. I didn't know how that would work out, so that's why I went with the Hydro Boost. Yeah,
it works out good. The Coyotes do produce about 17 to 18 inches of vacuum, so it does work, but it also gets tight, trying to put boosters and all that stuff on the wall, so this isn't a bad solution. It was a great one you picked, and so we were able to get that installed, and then at the end of the day, provide a nice big reservoir here.
Yeah, absolutely,
so
beautiful.
That's your fuse box for a lot of the Coyote So that's built by Ford. And so a lot of the fuses that, you know, control the engine and some fans and stuff like that are tied in there. So original grill, because you can't buy those. So you
No,
actually,
you can't- yeah, I know.
you actually have to get them all fixed up. Let's get it started. Obviously, we're not headed anywhere, and you're a tall guy.
I'm a tall guy, yeah.
So I think your wife, she'll probably be driving this more than you will, I got a feeling.
Well, that was the deal because I made her sell her truck when we first got married, and she promised me that I would buy her another one. And so this is my gift to her. So hopefully she'll let me drive it sometime.
All right, clutch in. Clutch, all right, and keys right there. Give it a start.
Wow. Ooh, baby.
Oh, yeah. Sounds pretty mean, huh?
That sounds really mean, babe. I love it.
When you get taken off in this thing, like it's legit. It gets down, it gets busy, and it's fun.
You got an R on there too, baby.
Right
Look
there.
at that. Classic black knob. That's what the old...
Just kind of all original, nothing over the top here.
It's exactly what we were looking
cool.
for.
We did, so you know we didn't do a high gloss in here. And we just kind of muted it down. A lot of the leather's got like a satin finish on it. And so everything we did was just try to mute it down. And this, you got one of our first fiberglass headliners that we ever built and designed for these trucks. You got one of our first ones.
I know, it's amazing. You got rid of my cardboard with the chicken tracks on.
Yeah.
How could you do that, man?
Yeah.
But I guess this will work.
It'll work. Well, we put a little bit of research into some other ways to do things, and so came up with the fiberglass headliner, so it works out good.
Unbelievable. Wow. Look at that. We got the tack working on it for me.
Yeah. And so here's your AC system. Obviously, there's not a lot of room, right, in these, so we got a little AC, but if we were to, so this is your fan. All the gauges and all the knobs work, and everything's just kind of like, you know, original. Of course, this is kind of a retro sound style.
That was a copy of Ford's radio that they came out with in 60 and 61.
Mm-hmm.
So
it looks pretty...
It's period correct.
It looks right.
Yeah.
Where's the first place you're going with this?
Taking it home, baby. That'll
Well,
be the first place.
I hope we get to see some photos of you guys.
Oh, yeah. My wife...
Lots of places.
She loves to take photos and put together photo albums and everything, so we'll have plenty of photos. And yes, we will keep you in the loop, baby.
Well, hey, Russ, since day one, you've been nothing but an amazing customer. You've persevered through, these are hard builds, as you know, and you've persevered through it, and it's done. It's all yours, and like I said, we have a little over 1,000 miles on it. And we've pushed it, tested it, you know, because when you put all these like little things that never belonged in this truck, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Like, it's just you're trying to make it all work, and so you're wanting to make sure that everything's just going to work for an extended period of time. And usually it's like 1,000 miles. Like we were driving this, I think at like 700 miles, a power steering line blew on us.
I know, that's...
And you're like, I love seeing our customers come back, but not under those circumstances where
of course not,
next day, right? The next day. And the last guy that picked his truck up is a 1976 Ford Highboy. Picked it up and he said, "Oh, I'm driving it home." And I was like, we didn't build the whole truck, right? We just built most of it, probably half of it. And he said, "I'm driving home." I said, "How far is home?" He goes, "Oh, it's about a 23-hour drive."
Oh my goodness.
I was like, that's more than we drove it, right? He's got 2,000 miles he's got to go. And I was like, boy, we're about to find out what 1,000 miles does. And you know what? He drove, he stopped, he golfed, and he drove, he golfed. He did that on the whole way home. Took 3 days and just enjoyed himself. Made it all the way home, and then took it out the next day. Was hot dogging on it, and guess what? He broke his gas pedal.
We got to get my wife in here.
Let her sit in here. So, all right.
Let me. Amazing.
Yes, it's awesome.
There's some trouble.
Well, it sounds good.
Gosh, look at that.
Yeah, I had to take my hearing aids off because
Sounded too good. So it's pretty straightforward. Clutch, brake, start it.
But I
So-
do need to see where to hook the dog in.
Yes, let's come look at that. Riley put together a little dog leash thing here, and it mounts right there, and so the dog can connect right there. So we got to take this out, this first, yeah, and then carefully set it down, and then we can come here, and it reconnects there.
Oh.
Yeah, so that's how it is original.
That's the original.
So how do I hook my dog in here?
That opens, I'll come show you.
Oh. Nice. Oh, it found it locked.
Twist right here,
Yes.
and then open. Yep.
And then
Yep.
lock.
And you lock it in. Now you can get these if you wanted to put a hubcap on here. The only struggle is you'd be taking it on and off, on and off, on and off, and that'd be a little
Yeah.
frustrating.
No, this is perfect, and I like this too because it would keep him from flipping out.
Yeah.
He's not going to be flipping out. I've never had a dog that flipped out yet.
You'll have to get that on camera. What it
Yeah,
says.
it's pretty cool. You have to zoom up on that. It's pretty cool.
Well, what do you think, sweetie? Did you go sit in it?
No, not yet.
You gotta do it.
What do you think?
Not too bad.
All right, so clutch brake.
Wow.
It will not start unless you have the clutch pushed all the way in. There's a sensor on there, and so it'll keep it from starting. And so you'll have to make sure that's pushed in all the way. You know, neutral, you can leave it in neutral and you can push the clutch in and start it. Just whatever you feel comfortable with. Obviously, if it's on flat ground, that's the easiest. You do have your parking brake here.
So pull
so-
out, turn to the side and push.
Yeah. Yep. And then back
Just
in.
like the old days.
Yep. Of course, you got wipers, lights. Okay.
Has it gone 140 yet?
It's been probably 110.
Okay.
Now-
I'm not driving it then.
One thing you'll learn about these old trucks
Doing
is
good,
they
big guy.
never went this fast in 1960.
No, they never went that
They
fast.
never went this fast. So one thing they also didn't use back then on these was a wind tunnel. And because of that, it comes in, the wind hits this flat shield, then hits this little forehead, eyebrow, this hat sticking out, and you'll hear a little extra wind noise because of that. But that's only usually when you start getting like 80 miles an hour, you start to, that's pick it up. But just normal driving in town, you don't ever really get bothered by it. 130 would not be out of the question in this.
I don't think we're pushing.
Yeah,
I don't know. Don't let her kid her.
I know.
There's a little old lady from Pasadena right there.
We push them just because we want to make sure it can do all the things, right? But I never fully expect my customers to be driving like that every day. All right, foot on the clutch, okay, all the way down, okay, and then start it.
So, do I need to push it this far down when I drive?
No, you'll
Okay.
feel it. No.
Okay. And we're in neutral. That's awesome.
So what we'll do is we'll go around the block with you, make sure you feel comfortable, everything feels okay. Does that feel good? And then that way you're like, okay, I got the hang of it. It feels pretty good. We can practice out back and make sure because it's a lot, as you know. I want you to feel really comfortable driving it out of here and feel safe. I want you to feel safe, right? We're not just like throwing you in a vehicle, say, see you later, right? So we want to make sure you feel real comfortable and safe. It's a traditional clutch, but we want to we'll do some practicing out back. It'll be fun.
Okay.
So, all right, we're wrapped up. We're really excited to have them take off today and go drive it. We're gonna do some training, get them all squared away, make sure everything's good, and then we'll keep you posted on the next build. We'll see you next time.
All right.